Help support AMTV by becoming a patron, an AMTV staff member, and following us over on Twitter. Hi there guys, it's Adam Martin here, and welcome back to another episode of the Now Review. And we have a very special episode this time because Now has released a 1000 edition print run of a vinyl box set, and I believe this is the first strictly vinyl box set Now has ever done. So there's only 1,000 of these made. I've managed to grab one of them. This is the 5 LP set known as Now Presents the 70s. So this is really exciting for any vinyl fans because, again, this is new territory for Now. Obviously, the 70s as a decade of music is something Now has trodden various times, but to have a 5 LP box set is really quite something special. Just looking at the cover, love the mix of orange hues there, which of course has become like a very staple colour of the 70s when looking back. A lot of orange wallpaper, orange chairs, just lots of orange. I like the little psychedelic effects too. Still got like the 80s Now logo, of course Now started in 1983, so it kind of makes sense, but nice that they've used the original logo there. And the 70s font, I believe, is the same font they used on their last 70s related album. Was that Now 100 Hits the 70s perhaps? But yeah, really cool cover. Just looking at the spine, I don't know if you can see that there, it does say Now Presents the 70s. That's really cool there. And I think let's have a look at the all important track list. So again, this is 5 LPs, so there's 10 sides total, and each one is separated by year. So we start with 1970, of course, with Simon & Garfunkel, Bridge Over Troubled Water, a very big hit song in its day. Bread, Make It With You, Elvis Presley, Suspicious Minds. Do you know that was 1970? Deep Purple with Black Knight, Free and All Right Now, still a banger. The Tears of a Clown by Smokey Robinson and the Miracles. The Jackson 5 with I Want You Back. And Stevie Wonder with Signed, Sealed, Delivered, I'm Yours. So a lot of Motown stuff towards the end there. Shows how Motown was still pretty big as the 70s were dawning, but a lot of recognisable and iconic hits on the first side. Jumping over to side B, you can see there at the top right, my edition is number 74 out of 1,000, which is pretty cool of this release. So side B, you have Elton John with Your Song, Rod Stewart with Maggie May, Slade, Cause I Love You, The Who with Baba O'Reilly, Ike and Tina Turner with Proud Mary, Marvin Gaye with What's Going On, and Diana Ross with I'm Still Waiting. Again, a lot of big recognisable names there, a lot of big recognisable songs, especially Your Song, Baba O'Reilly, Proud Mary, to name a few. So really good start so far. LP2, side A is 1972. You got another 8 tracks. So you've got Don McLean with American Pie Part 1, again another classic sing-along song. Sly and the Family Stone with Family Affair. Bill Withers and Lean on Me, another classic. Harry Nilsson with Without You. Roxy Music and Virginia Plain. T-Rex with Metal Guru. Mott the Hoople with All the Young Dudes. And Lou Reed with Perfect Day. You're really getting a good expanse of what the 70s was starting to become musically, I feel. And with 1973, which is LP2 side B, you've got Roberta Flack with Killing Me Softly with his song, one of my favourite like soul kind of songs, absolutely beautiful. As is Harold Melvin and the Blue Notes with If You Don't Know Me By Now. Simply Red did a cover of it, but the original is an absolute winner. Kiki D with Amarous, I think you say it. Sweet with Ballroom Blitz, big song that is. Wizard and See My Baby Joe. No, it's not their Christmas song, would you believe? Billy Joel with Piano Man, love that one, that's a classic like pub song. And Bob Dylan with Knockin' on Heaven's Door. So let's move on to LP3. Side A is 1974. You have Queen with Killer Queen, one of their big early hits. Paul McCartney and Wings with Band on the Run. Mike Oldfield with Tubular Bells, of course famously heard in the film The Exorcist. Susie Quattro with Devilgate Drive. Mud and Tiger Feet. Sparks with This Town Ain't Big Enough for Both of Us. Barry White with You're the First, the Last, My Everything, another big disco hit there. And The 3 Degrees with When Will I See You. Again, I've mentioned before, but again, I'm loving the sheer variety of musical styles on this one. Great decade, the 70s musically too. LP3 side B is 1975. You've got John Lennon with Imagine. Need I say more about that? One of the most iconic songs ever, probably. 10cc with I'm Not in Love. I really like that one. Nice and chilled and melodic. Barry Manilow with Mandy. Bay City Rollers with Bye Bye Baby. One of my mum's favourites. David Essex with Hold Me Close. Steve Harley and Cockney Rebel with Make Me Smile. Come Up and See Me. The Stylistics with Can't Give You Anything But My Love. And Minnie Riperton with Lovin' You. Some of those I'm not as familiar with, but that's what I like about these sort of sets, the chance for me to discover music I'm not previously engaged with or listened to. LP4 side A is 1976. You've got ABBA with Dancing Queen. Again, need I say more about that? Frankie Valli and the Four Seasons with December 1963. Wonderful song. Chicago with If You Leave Me Now, which I think became a meme at one point, didn't it? Joan Armstrading with Love and Affection. Electric Light Orchestra with Living Thing. Thin Lizzy with The Boys Are Back in Town, and John Miles with music, and of course John sadly passed away recently, may he rest peacefully. LP 4 side B is 1977, big year culturally. Fleetwood Mac with Don't Stop off the famous Rumours album, great listen by the way. Meatloaf and Bat Out of Hell, Status Quo with Rockin' All Over the World, Donna Summer with I Feel Love, Baccara with Yes Sir I Can Boogie, and I believe the lead singer of Baccara passed away earlier this year too. David Soul with Don't Give Up On Us, and the Commodores with Easy, which I believe Lionel Richie later recorded for himself as a solo single. LP 5 side A is Kate Bush with Wuthering Heights, Althea and Donna with Uptown Top Ranking, I think that's it. Chic with La Freak, big tune. Boney M with Rivers of Babylon, one of my favourites. The Jam, moving into more like punky stuff, with Down in the Tube Station at Midnight. The Boomtown Rats with Rat Trap, and Sui and the Banshees with Hong Kong Garden. And finally, LP 5 side B, you have The Clash with London Calling, The Police with Message in a Bottle, Pretenders with Kid, Blondie with Heart of Glass, Earth, Wind and Fire with The Emotions and Boogie Wonderland, Tubeway Army with Our Friends Electric, and The Buggles with Video Killed the Radio Star, one of the last big hits of the 70s, the first song played on MTV and really ushered in the video era, so a nice tune to fizzle out on. So looking at the individual LPs inside, here's LP1, which is 1970 and 71. Look at that, more psychedelic patterns, very of the era, with an old orange 70s TV. They're probably black and white, that one. So gorgeous cover, all of them have different covers, and on the back, you can see we have actually tracklist information. We haven't had this in now for ages, so just zooming in there for you and panning by. So there, look, you've got the Simon & Garfunkel one, and there's facts about them. It tells you the chart peak of the song, how many weeks it was in the top 40. Really great to have this information. Again, this has been missing from a lot of now releases for so long, and a lot of people have enjoyed it. So even though it's restricted to this final release, I'm so glad it's here. Love a good spout of information. And just to show you the disc, you can see the logo is on the center there. All of them are black, standard vinyl black, and that's what one side looks like, and that's what the other side looks like. And all of the discs have the patterning of what's on the front of the sleeve. You'll see what I mean. So here's LP2, which is 1972 and 73. More funky orange, like swirly patterns, and a big orange lamp. Can you tell orange was the colour of the 70s? For anyone watching who was actually around in the 70s, was this true? Was orange really that big of a colour? So just flicking it around to the back, once again, more tracklist information about the artist, how the song did in the charts. Again, I know it's really probably nerdy, but I really enjoy this sort of content on a Now album, so good to see it here. LP3 is 1974 and 75. Mixing it up, you've got orange still, but you've got some blues, some yellows, and the chair is white with a red cushion. You've probably seen this in a lot of 70s like sci-fi stuff if you watch it, you know, because it's futuristic, man. So flipping it over and zooming in, once again, all the information about the songs on this LP. Really good to have, especially if you're a music buff and you want to learn some information. LP4 is 1976 and 77, and this is probably my favourite. Lovely blue hues used here, both like dark and light blue. Lovely clock face in the middle with lots of like spikes coming off of it. That actually looks really cool. I wouldn't mind that hanging that in my house. So really cool artwork there, and once again on the back, you're probably hearing me sick of saying it, but it's true, there's lots of information. And LP5, 78 to 79, you've got one of those old telephones that were fashionable back then. The orange has returned. You might think the floor is actually similar to the carpet used in the film The Shining, which did come out in 1980, but it's that sort of hexagonal beehive patterning that was, again, very popular back in the day. So, looking again, there's your last little bit of information there. So, is Now Presents the 70s worth your time and money? Well, again, this is very limited. They've told us there's only 1,000 of these being pressed as a vinyl box set. In terms of where you can get it from, you can get it from Amazon, you can get it from HMV, and I think you can get it from Now's website itself. But unless you've asked your independent record dealer to order it in, I think those are the main places you can get it. It retails for $79.99, so in a sense £80, which, yes, does sound like a lot of money. Bear in mind that is a 5 vinyl LPs, so I've got to do some quick maths in my head now. So what, that's like 16, is that 16? Yeah, it's like £16 per LP, which in this day and age for new LPs isn't too dear, but I guess, like with all, you've got to look at the track list. Now has done 70 stuff before, albeit a lot of it on CD, but if you want these songs on vinyl all in one place, and this is a great release. I mean, I love vinyl box sets, and I love the releases Now's been doing, so this was a no-brainer for me. But yeah, definitely do your research on this one. I hope this video's helped in some way, but check that track list, check what you've got yourself. Make sure you're not doubling up if you don't want to, because this is a bit more expensive than the normal, just not normal Now release, even a Now special release, this is a bit more pricey. But I do hope Now continues to do more of these. I think off the back of this, if it's done well, they might do ones based on other decades as well, which would be really cool. And they're actually getting more into vinyl. Like, there's upcoming releases coming, and I'm really hyped for it. So, good job, Now. Good job. But that is all for this installment of the Now Review. Thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed it, please remember to leave a like on this video, and let me know in the comments, are you going to be picking up Now Presents the 70s, or is this one that you're just going to skip? Or do you wish there was just a CD release of this? Let me know in the comments. Leave a like on the video as well, really does help out, and subscribe if you're brand new, we'd love to have you aboard. I've been Adam Martin from AMTV, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Thank you to our patrons for helping to support the show, and a special thank you to Macra, Hooks Media, Ben Freeman, Ethan Carberry-Holt, Bruce Danton, The Broken Kitsumanoid, Tobos Krotz, Polsky Liz, Globe of Reviews, Trev Hughes, and Kevin Aikman, our AMTV staff members.